There we go. Three, two, and one. Well, Mayor Mike, uh, I'm sorry that we have to do this again, but here we are.
Well, I don't know if you realize this, but this is our 3,659th episode.
Man, I've been here that long.
Well, I'm using my abacus, but I think I did it right.
Okay.
I
Eh,
saw a YouTube video, so
Yeah. 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 And now that's on the internet. So it's on the internet. It must be true.
yeah,
So,
absolutely. And here we are,
yep.
Super Bowl week, right? One of my
Mhm.
favorite times of the year. You know how much
Oh,
of
of
a big sports person I
course.
am.
Of course.
And there's two teams that are going to be playing
Hmm.
uh, football
We assume
this,
they will
this
both show up. Yes.
this coming Sunday.
Uh huh.
And what I'm told, nobody cares.
Hmm.
Apparently, there are two teams that nobody really seems to have a big interest in,
Yeah.
except my friend Aaron. Aaron's a big 49ers fan. But I'm making my prediction
Okay.
here and now. I don't know if I told you this, but for probably close to 30 years now, I've been making one Super Bowl bet with a friend of mine for
Okay.
$1, and we bet
Okay.
on the coin toss.
Hmm.
So this year I'm going tails. So anybody wants to get their Vegas odds in,
Hmm.
go with that. And honestly, it's kind of a running joke with my friends because even though we've been doing it for 30 years, it's a 50-50 thing. You think I'd win about half the time. I think this would be like I've only won 7 times, I think. And so yeah, it's kind of crazy.
See,
But yeah,
you
I'm
can't
going with
even.
tails and put your money down right now. Go
Yeah.
online, lay your bets, and
It,
we'll see what happens on
yeah.
Sunday.
I mean, it is one of the prop bets. It's actually one of the more popular prop bets.
Is it really?
Yeah. Is the
That seems
coin
like
toss.
it
Uh,
seems like a silly bet because the house takes their cut.
yep.
So, on a $5 bet, you might win $4.80.
Yeah. It's one of the more popular prop bets, right up there with how long the national anthem. They always set an over under on the national anthem.
Do they really? Is
Yes.
that a
And
thing?
the other one that's kind of running is I had it on the tip of my tongue and I forgot, but there is another silly kind of prop bet. Oh, whether or not an octopus is going to be scored in the game.
What's an octopus?
An octopus is an 8 point possession by one player. So one player, say the running back scores the touchdown, and then the team goes for two, and the
Uh-huh.
same running back converts the 2 point conversion. That is an octopus. That's 8 points.
Jesus, what are the odds on that? That's got to be
Very
a big
long.
deal, right?
Very long. Yes.
Wow.
So,
Well, good luck with your bookie and whatever that may hold. But aside from the Super Bowl, we've got
yes.
tons of stuff going on in the city.
Uh-huh.
The Saturday before Super Bowl, the 10th, the Isaac Walton League is having their 60th annual ice fishery. If you've never been to this, it's going to be held up at the old Lakeside, which is off of Old Wausau Road this year. It's been moving around the last couple of years because we've been doing dredging on McDill Pond where it normally is. And then there was a moratorium on fishing for a while on McDill, so they just had a jamboree at the clubhouse. But tons of prizes, great camaraderie, and you may even catch a fish or two.
Hmm.
Of course, Playhouse Theater Group has got a couple of things going on. You can see that on their website or their Facebook page. And then my favorite coming up on February 18th.
Oh, yes.
We normally call it Polkas on Ice, but as you probably heard, looking out your window, there aren't ice making conditions. Uh,
No.
we've had to shut down everything in the city outdoors, pretty much the sled hills, toboggan runs. It's just too warm to try and keep them active. But Polkas on Ice is going to still happen this year. It's a celebration of our Polish heritage, polka music, whether it's on pavement or we're calling it Polkas on the Square. I've got a batch of homemade janówka that I'll be bringing down. There's punchkas and Polish music, polkas. Uh, Real fun, and that's going to be on the square February 18th. So things are moving along. I know the Annex still has live music and live entertainment options. Rookies, of course, live entertainment. Goose on Main is having a Taylor Swift party. Speaking of that, actually, I think they had it. They may have had it last weekend.
Okay.
But yeah, Taylor Swift. I don't know what she's going to do. You told me that there's a scheduling conflict, right? so she
She's
may not be able
performing
to
in
make the Super
Japan
Bowl.
the week of the Super Bowl. She's going to be at the
Yeah.
Tokyo Dome. I mean, they say she could make it work, but I
Wow.
tell you what, she'd have a lot of frequent flyer miles. That's for
Well,
sure.
maybe they could do like a Zoom, like we do,
Yeah,
right? They put her
absolutely,
up on the jumbotron
absolutely.
at the Vegas Stadium, and
Hmm.
Taylor can say hi to everybody. And I don't know, maybe the tail end of the halftime show.
Yeah, yeah. She contributes with Usher. There we go. We have just solved this problem. That's what we do
You,
here on Maris Mondays. Except for, of course, the problem that we haven't been able to solve that you just kind of touched on a little bit. How's that for a segue? The problem with a lack of ice and outdoor recreational activities. I know that's a big deal in Stevens Point. You take pride in your public ice skating rinks and your toboggan runs. You've even had the sled library for people that want to take advantage of
Yep.
this. This is a big deal that we're kind of going without this year.
Well, and it's a much bigger deal for some of the places up north that rely on snowmobilers and skiers as part of their
No doubt.
economics. That's really, really tough for them. So, I don't know how long this is going to last. I'm still anticipating we're going to get some big winter blast moving through at some point. If you remember a few years ago, we had like 22 inches of snow on trivia weekend.
Hmm.
So that's, it's something that I'm holding my breath on, right? We've been doing really well budget wise, of course. No overtime really for snow plowing, or our salt sheds are still very well stocked. And we're finding things for our employees to do, but economically, that's got to be tough for a lot of people. Those people that rely on winter activities for their livelihood are going to take a big hit. So it's important that we recognize that. And if you do happen to, get up north somewhere, maybe spend a little extra time there and help those small businesses stay afloat. From what I heard, though, climate change is a myth. So this certainly isn't climate. I, I have no idea, right?
Yeah.
But I can tell you my utility bill is much lower than it usually is, so I'm happy for that.
So then, just exactly what does the city do then when if we come to the end of this winter, we go into the month of April, and you've only spent just throwing a number out there, 35% of your street maintenance budget, what at least the portion that's allocated to snow removal.
So it's not. We're still paying the employees, right? We just don't have the overtime. Now we try and minimize our overtime as much as possible, but it'll get worked in, and maybe at the end of the year we'll have a little bit of a surplus where we can afford to fix a stretch of road or something like that, if there is money left over in the operating budget. On the other hand, we could anticipate an overage, and you and I could either go see Taylor Swift in Japan or go to the Super Bowl and put some money down on the octopus.
Yeah, yeah, we certainly could. Just keep all the receipts and
Keep the receipts.
make sure that while we're there, we have a meeting with the mayor of Las Vegas, so we can make it look legitimate.
There you go. But no, it's salt and sand that doesn't go
Yeah,
bad. So that's just less money we have to spend
right.
next year. And we're paying our employees. Our employees aren't sitting around doing nothing because there's no snow to plow. There's tons of things that, there's never enough staff to do all the things we need to. This is giving us a little bit of a chance to catch up a little bit more. The overtime budget, we'll have to reconcile that probably next December,
Okay.
and see if there's any extra money there. But the other nice thing, I forgot to mention this, the downtown business improvement district. One of the first things they wanted to do, we've got those pretty lights down Main Street that we have
Mhm.
up during the holiday season. We've kept them up much longer now because it just looks so darn nice with the snow. Not this year, of course, but the downtown business association wanted to see if we could expand that. And Kenny Rozek, who is our Christmas decorations guru, he puts his heart and soul into this every year. He says, "Boy, if we wait till after January, everything goes on a discount. We can probably get a lot more lights." And he did. He saved us like 35% on these lights. And
Absolutely.
we're going to get those up as soon as we can too. So, both Main Street, Clark Street, and the side streets are all going to look real nice.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And always hunting for a bargain too. I'm sure the taxpayers will appreciate that
Yeah.
aspect from the city. One more thing about a couple of weeks ago, you had, or excuse me, last week, you were in meetings and in listening sessions with business owners on Division Street. Now,
Hmm.
where are we on the design process? If I remember right, where you're still very early in the design process, and you are right now soliciting feedback from businesses on what to do with this, what's been described in the past as a once in a generation type road project for the city.
Yeah, so if you recall, back in early 2023, we asked the council to take a look at the design one more time. And if there's things that we had concerns about, we could change it, little pieces here and there, not the big stretch. And council chose to move ahead as is. So that has gone to what we call a 30% design, meaning 30% of the work is done. And that usually starts at the higher level, right? You lay out the road, and then
Mhm.
as you get more detailed, you work out the driveways and the crosswalks and things like that. We will be having a discussion next Monday, as a matter of fact, at Public Works. They did ask to have our engineers reevaluate the signalized versus roundabout intersection at Fourth and Division. I'm not a fan of the roundabout. I think we got 600 people a day crossing that road, and roundabouts are designed to keep traffic flowing. I'm still not convinced, but AECom has submitted their final report with all the research that they've done. They're still recommending the roundabout. So council will have to act on that. And then, as I said, last week, the director and the engineering firm AECom met with any property owner in the central and northern section that wanted to meet. We had previously done that in the southern section, and I think we made some good progress. Obviously, we didn't make everyone happy, but this is that opportunity to meet with those property owners now in the central and northern part, basically everything north of the train tracks. And we'll take feedback from those meetings, see if we can incorporate some of the suggestions into the idea. But for those that are really concerned, council voted to go ahead with that three-lane design all the way through from north to south. And that's what's moving forward right now. Now, I suppose things could change. We've got an election coming up in
Mhm.
April, and about half of the council seats are up. So if there's a significant turnover there, things may change, but I honestly don't see that happening right now.
Yeah, indeed. And of course, this is all brought about because at one point or another, business owners and other stakeholders in this felt like they didn't quite have a voice in the process. They didn't feel like their concerns were being addressed or were falling on deaf ears, for lack of a better term. Are these meetings that you've been having now a way to kind of try and smooth that over and make sure that everybody has a chance to speak their mind in this process?
Yes, you'll hear people say that, oh, the council doesn't listen to us or we're not being heard, but they are. We've had tons and tons of public meetings on this. It's just that the council may disagree with your opinion. It's not that they didn't hear you. It's not that they don't take you seriously. But the council is elected to represent the constituents they serve, and I think the only way that we might be able to save the current example of Business 51 is to get it on the historic register, because Al Capone very likely took that route when he went up to northern Wisconsin from Chicago. So
Mhm.
there's probably some historical significance there. Let's see if we can get Geraldo Rivera, and when we turn over the first piece of pavement, it'll be like Al Capone's vault, if you're old enough to remember that one.
Remember, isn't he still buried over by American Family Field?
No, that's Jimmy Hoffa.
Okay, that's Jimmy Hoffa. Yeah, getting my gangsters mixed up here. That's why we've got Mayor Wiza, to keep me cool and hip.
And hip, yes, hip is where we're at.
Hmm. Indeed. Well, Mayor Wiza, we always appreciate the time. Again, we'll look forward to chatting again next month.
Absolutely. You take care, Michael.